I am Bobby Yarra. I'm a friend of Gianni Menichetti, who I met in the autumn of 1986 when I first went to Positano to visit Valley Myers. I had met Valley at the Chelsea Hotel in 1983 when I was introduced to her by Gregory Corso, the poet. Every year that I could get away, I would go back to Positano to hang out with Valley and Gianni. At one point, Valley and Gianni fought, and Gianni left the Valley to be replaced by another John, an Irish fellow. But afterwards, he came back, and Gianni still lives in Positano, in Il Porto, to this day. I saw him in September of 2022, where I took these videos. I hope you enjoy.
You know that Allah was the original Godhead, who was the goddess of the moon. Did you know that?
No.
Before Allah, it was Al-Lat thousands of years ago. In fact, it was an attribute to some goddesses like from our countries, but they were called the moon, you know, Al-Lat Akbar. Talking about the moon, Bobby. All the Eastern calendars are based on the moon. Today is the black of the moon. Tomorrow, also the Jewish calendar is always it's connected with counted by the cycle of the moon. You know. Yeah. And the Calcutta, strangely enough, although everybody speaks so bad about it, it's like the pit of hell. There was something beautiful. I felt my heart kind of sad when I left Calcutta. A couple of times I've been there, you know. And and in the botanical garden, I told you yesterday, is the only place where you can breathe some fresh air. Because the rest, you look up in the sky, you don't know if it's the sun or the moon. And there was suddenly a snake, and a beautiful, a golden snake in the grass, you know. And the Indians that came to the botanical garden said, "Oh, look!" Instead, here they would be scared shitless, you know. No, because they are, you know, after all, they are holy too, and the snakes. And it was a deadly poisonous snake. Now I forget the name. That bit like the Australian snakes. That if you get bitten, after 3 minutes your troubles are over. And they said, "Oh, how beautiful! Wow!" And once I was wandering in Rajasthan. I went in a yard. And a very, very kind of respectable old fellow said, "Be careful. This is the place of the Naga Raj, of the kingly snake." Didn't say, "Watch out because you get bitten." Don't disturb the Naga. They have different names, but generally Nag means a snake, you know. But yeah, did you see? I made quite a few. Images of India with snakes, and because they're holy there, you know, they're not. I'm not afraid of snakes. Of course, I use it when they say in the valley where you live there is a lot of the piles of snakes. And about 25 years ago, when I was in Varanasi, I was wandering through the Ghats, which are the stairs into the river Ganges. And I saw a spectacle which, when I think about it, seems so unreal. If somebody would tell me, I would think it's such pure fancy. And there was a man that, to make his living, had a couple of little monkeys, a boy and a girl. The girl dressed like a dancer, not of the classic Bharatanatyam dance or Kathak. She looked more like a dancer of the Western kind. and with a little stick, he made a kind of tic tac, like a Morse alphabet on the ground with a cane, and with his voice, he made an act which is unbelievable. The little dancer, the ballerina, was dancing on tiptoe with the arms up, and you see the boy looking at her, putting a hand on his heart, and he falls in love with the dancer. And as she dances, he goes and courts her, but she refuses, and she tells him off again and again and again. Finally, the boy is out of his mind, and he makes a gesture like with the pointing finger and the thumb, and shoots her. And you see the little dancer falling on the ground. And of course the boy is absolutely desperate when he sees what happened, and tries to revive her, bringing her up from the ground, but to no avail, and she falls back completely dead. So you see the most desperate kind of outbreak of sorrow. He beats his chest, tears his hair, he's going completely nuts, And he keeps on lifting her up to see if he can revive her. No way. She falls back completely, gone. Then, after a little, you see that she opens one eye, then another, and then she sits up, and then she stands up, and then they embrace each other, and then they go away, hand in hand. Like, if I think about it even now, I can't believe it. It's just beyond there. How can a man make two little monkeys act? And my first thought, I was in the company of a Jordanian student at the Benares Varanasi University, and I said, how strange, how often the monkeys in a country look like the local inhabitants. That was also the case. They were little, but they looked very much like Indian monkeys. What happened to the Western monkeys? I said, have they been exterminated, or are they extinct? And I heard a voice behind me. I couldn't turn. The crowds in India are enormous. That answered me, saying, they all live in apartments now. I have it in the book of stories. I've seen him for a long time, but Israel Hadani is a dear friend. He's a very good artist, and he has his works are in the Israel Museum of Jerusalem. And so it was thanks to you that I went and visited him. That has been my last real trip.
Who did you meet? I can't remember. Who?
In the year 2000, I went at the very beginning of the year for 10, 11, 12 days. I went to Jerusalem, and Israel Hadani is a wonderful person, very well. He's older than 11 years older than me. He must be 81, but he has such a young soul, beautiful, inspired, and makes beautiful things. And twice or three times a year we call each other, and he's always very, very, very inspired kind of spirit, And I met him in India. Well, generally people that you meet in India, when you meet them, and then one postcard at most. Whereas he came here and to visit me in the valley, and then we got a very, very quite nicely connected, And when I went, because I remember you said to me that when you went at the Western Wall, or the Wailing Wall,
yeah.
but it generally is the Wailing Wall, but for the Orthodox, I think it's the Western Wall, because it was the ancient temple at the time of Herod that had rebuilt the temple, and the Western Wall, so it's called, Oh, by the way, I know you're not Orthodox at all. Tomorrow is the first of the year of the Jewish in the Jewish calendar.
See.
You knew that?
My daughter told me, but I didn't know it was tomorrow.
Yeah. Then, as I said, when I went to Jerusalem, thanks to you, because you brought Herbie to look after the animals.
That's
You
right.
remember? And right in the beginning of January, but it left me. That's a place I have very fond memories of Jerusalem, the Dead Sea, and so on.
See,
You know?
me too. An amazing city.
Jerusalem is pretty high. It's like 700 and odd meters above the sea. Then the lowest place on earth is the Dead Sea. So imagine it's like a 1,000 kind of meters or more from Jerusalem down and go down there. But it's not oppressive at all. It's a beautiful feeling in first Wadi Qumran, but then after when you go by the Dead Sea, beautiful. Otherwise, I went on the other side of Italy three or four times for the Gypsy festivals, where I got given an award, a recognition, because one for poetry, two for poetry, one for history of the gypsies in the Kingdom of Naples. Things were exactly like up to recently here. You know, they made laws against them and all the time, and nobody applied them anyway. Like Naples is a very, very a lot of anarchy. You know, it's a very free place, and nobody gives a word about. And one about the history of, and of course it was nothing, but it was beautiful. I got three awards plus a diploma of honor. After which I didn't go anymore. I don't want to win forever. It's enough. But gypsies can be very interesting. There you have it.
Good to see you, Gianni.
Well, likewise, because it's nice. As a matter of fact, tell me if I talk too much.
No. You're in the valley. We talk as much as you want.